My spoiled girlfriend wants to break up with me because I have less money than her. She said she wants to date someone who can bring more on the table. So I took her best friend who can bring more on my bed on a date and did something my girlfriend will never forget. My girlfriend was from a very wealthy family. She never really worked a lot, had always had everything she wanted. Jessica had been dropping hints for weeks, each one more blatant than the last. Her complaints about my car, the subtle digs at my job, the not-so-subtle remarks about how she deserved someone who could match her lifestyle. It all came to a head one Saturday evening when she finally dropped the bomb. "Look, Mike," she said, her voice dripping with condescension. "We need to talk. I think we want different things." "What do you mean, Jess?" I asked, already knowing the answer but needing to hear her say it. "I need someone who can keep up with me, you know? Someone who can take me to nice places, buy me nice things. I need a man who can match my energy and ambition. I want to date someone who can bring much more on the table." She spat out, as if she was reciting lines from a poorly written soap opera. There it was. The real reason. She wanted someone with a fatter wallet. I felt a mix of anger and relief. Anger at her shallowness, relief that I wouldn't have to put up with her spoiled antics anymore. But mostly, I felt a burning desire for revenge. I wasn't about to let her walk away thinking she had the upper hand. "Fine," I said, keeping my voice steady. "If that's what you want." She looked momentarily taken aback, as if she expected me to beg her to stay. But I didn't. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. I was so angry at her. After all I did for here, working long shifts just to pay her useless Starbucks, expansive clothes that didn't matter because she was an average-looking girl with nothing special, she refused to do any sport to be in a better shape, saying that she knew her worth. She's been a white spoiled brat since her childhood. Her best friend was way prettier than her and was always very nice to me, always caring and had a very strong work ethic. So I decided to make the extra step and ask her best friend Emily to go hang out because I wanted to talk about my relationship with Jessica. A few days later, we went to a bar downtown. Emily was everything Jessica wasn't, down to earth, genuine, and even more stunning. We'd always had a bit of a flirtatious dynamic, but nothing had ever come of it because of my relationship with Jessica. But now, things were different. I told her about what my girlfriend said and she couldn't believe it. She said that I deserved better, someone who appreciated me for who I am. She said that with direct eye contact with me, it was very disturbing, but I could tell something was different this time. So there I was, sitting in this bar with Emily, and things were getting a bit strange. She suddenly started telling me about how she had always found me interesting. I mean, it was nice to hear, but a bit weird too, right? As we were talking, my phone buzzed. It was Jessica. I figured she was probably calling to rant or demand something. But I ignored it. I was too focused on the moment with Emily. But then, Jessica showed up at the bar. She stormed in like a hurricane, clearly furious. She must have tracked my phone or something. "Mike, what are you doing here with her?" she shouted, causing heads to turn. Emily looked shocked and a bit scared, but she didn't back down. I took a deep breath. "Jessica, we're over, remember? You made that very clear. I'm just talking with Emily." Jessica's face turned red, and she spat out some nasty comments about Emily. I had never seen this side of her before. She was more unhinged than I realized. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, the bartender came over and told us we needed to leave. Apparently, Jessica had caused such a scene that we were being kicked out. Great. Emily and I left the bar, and she suggested we go to a nearby park to talk. It sounded nice, but as we walked, the sky suddenly opened up, and it started pouring rain. Of course, we got soaked. To top it off, my car wouldn't start when we finally made it back. Emily called an Uber for us, but it felt like everything was going wrong. As we sat in the Uber, dripping wet, Emily turned to me and said, "Well, today has been interesting." We both laughed. Despite everything, we ended up having a pretty good time. It was like the universe was testing us, but we managed to get through it together. And that's how I knew, even if things went south sometimes, having someone who genuinely cared made all the difference.